So the religion should be inside.
Din insanın içinde olmalı.
That's Sufism.
Sufizm bu.
Sufi word comes from South.
Mother, Mr. Emin is teaching at the Marmara University and teaching the interpretations of Holy Quran. Yes.
But you see, Quran also is very much misunderstood.
Kur'an'da bir ayet var. O halk diyor, Allah'ın yasaklarından çekinselerdi, yani Allah'ın emirlerini yerine getirselerdi, yasaklarından çekinseler, yani yapmasalardı, gökten üzerlerine bereket yağdığını göreceklerdi. Yani kuralları çiğnemeselerdi ve Allah'ın emirlerini yapsalardı.
He is interpreting a verb from the Quran, saying if people would follow the regulations of Quran, they would notice that Lakshmi would come to them.
Not that way.
Yani
You
bilmiyorum.
see,
Evet, inansalardı ve yasakları çiğnemeselerdi,
If they would believe
evet,
and
yasakları
would not
çiğnemeselerdi,
Break the rules.
evet,
break the rules, they would see the benefits.
gökteki bereket kapılarının üzerlerine açıldığını göreceklerdi.
They would notice that the doors of heaven will be open to them and the Lakshmi would come to them, to the people.
To those who are following the rules, those who are following strictly the
no
Quran.
doubt about it. But what I feel about the whole thing is that Quran was written after 40 years of death of Muhammad.
Benim diyor çok ilgimi çeken bir durum, Kur'an Hz. Muhammed'den 40 yıl sonra yazıldı diyor.
And also,
Yok, herhalde hayatında yazdı.
and you cannot remember. But despite that, I find Quran is perfect. But there are many subtler things that are missing.
Bunun haricinde diyor Kur'an'ın çok mükemmel olduğunu biliyorum. Ancak çok bir iki ufak şey diyor orada. Birkaç nokta var diyor eksik olan.
Now, for example, Muhammad Sahaja said that he went on a white horse through the seven heavens.
Orada beyaz bir atın üzerinde 7 göğe çıktığı, 7 cennete çıktığı belirtiliyor.
Now, that people don't understand.
Bunu insanlar anlamıyor.
Anlamazlar.
So that is he has described exactly what happens when the Kundalini
Hiç
rises.
giden gelen yok aslında. Bir yere gitmiş gelmiş değildir.
What is it?
He says actually he is not traveling somewhere.
No, within yourself.
Yok, kendi içindeki
kendi içinde.
dünyaları fethederek.
Within
Kendi
yourself you
içindeki.
cross.
O mirat tamamen
Yeah.
ruhani bir hadise.
But that is what is Sahaja.
Bu da aynı Sahajayoga gibidir. O da
That is what.
Aynen.
Yes. But what has happened because of poetry? As people don't understand.
İnsanlar bunu anlamadıkları için diyor, sadece bunu
And
bir
they are
şiir gibi
misinterpreting.
görüyorlar.
Mainly they are misinterpreting.
Yok, dini dışarıda arıyorlar.
People look, are searching the religion outside, not inside.
That's the point.
Nokta bu.
That's the point. But what he has said,
Ama tasavvuf ehli biliyor onun ruhani bir seyahat olduğunu.
Sufis know that this journey is a spiritual journey.
yes, of course. But the trouble is people don't understand and they are misled.
Sorun da insanlar bunu bilmedikleri için yanlış yollara gidiyorlar.
Because people want to make money out of them.
Çünkü insanlar bundan para kazanmak istiyorlar.
Or they want to gain some sort of a violence or something. And they are just bringing bad name to Quran and Sharif. and also to Mamaza.
Bu yolda gidip de bunu anlamayıp da yanlış yorumlayanlar sonunda insanlar birçok şeyi yanlış yapıyorlar ve İslam'a leke getiriyorlar.
Ama zaten o ruhani seyahat yani 1,5 milyar Müslümanların hepsinin problemi değil.
Yani,
Yani her insan kendi iç dünyasına dönüp de o miracı zaten yaşayamaz.
he believes that
Yani avamın problemi değildir. Avamın öyle bir problemi yok.
the people, the common people, is not seeking a mirage within himself.
Biz
But-
ona havas diyoruz işte, tasavvuf ehli diyor.
That's true. That is the main thing that we talk about in Sahajayoga. That you know thyself is said in the Quran also.
Kur'an'da da söylendiği gibi kendini bil. Biz de bunu kullanıyoruz.
Hepsinde o.
So when you have not known yourself, you are not a Muslim.
Eğer kendini bilmezsen Müslüman değilsin.
Without knowing yourself, what are you surrendering to God?
Eğer kendini bilmezsen Allah'a neyini emanet edeceksin, teslim edeceksin.
It's important thing that first you know yourself.
Öncelikle kendini bilmek.
Can
Önemli.
you believe that all religions have said the same?
Çünkü bütün dinlerde aynı şeyi söylemişlerdir.
Christ has said the same, Krishna has said the same, Rama has said the same, Zoroaster has said the same thing. All of them had said the same thing.
Herkes bunu söylemiştir. İsa, Krishna,
Krishna
Zarathustra,
Adem aleyhisselama daha yakın.
Huh?
sözü
Adem
değil,
aleyhisselamın
Krishna
dinine. İlk
Ee,
dine daha yakın.
is very close to Adam. Adam's religion.
But Adam has written no book.
Fakat Adem bir kitap yazmamıştır.
Yok, hiçbirisi yazmamış. Çokları yazmamış. O zamanın şairleri de kitap yazmıyordu.
He believes that the poets from that time didn't have a book either. So
True,
very-
I agree. But you see, whether it is Krishna or any one of these people, they are all just the same. And they are building up human beings to find out about themselves.
Krishna'da, diğerleri de hepsi insanların kendilerini bilmeleri için gayret gösterdiler ve çaba verdiler.
And also Sufis are that.
Sufiler de böyle.
Şimdiki eğitimde de öyle bir şey yok. Biz eşyayı tanıyoruz ama insanı tanıtmaya gelince kimse bir şey bilmiyor. Yani bugün en ileri ülkelerdeki resmi eğitim, okullarda öğretilen şeyler, siz tercüme edebilirsiniz. Evet.
The
Orada da insanın kendisini tanımasına yönelik bir şey yoktur. İşte ahlak, dışarıya dönük bir takım kurallar var. Burnunu karıştırmayacaksın, yere tükürmeyeceksin falan gibi ama iç dünyamıza ait bir bilgi vermiyor. Bugünkü modern eğitim de bir şey vermiyor.
The education today is only teaching us the outside, the material, not the inside.
Yeah, correct. I agree with you.
Yani
But it was outside was worked out, I don't know. But it has to be worked out inside.
Bu insanın içinden olan bir keyfiyettir.
Because when it is worked inside, as it is said that at the time of Priyama, your hands will speak if they speak. Actually.
Kur'an'da da yazıldığı gibi kıyamet, kıyam zamanında elleriniz konuşacak,
tabii.
ayaklarınız şehadet edecek.
So by outside working,
Şimdi de konuşuyor ellerimiz, ayaklarımız. Şimdi de konuşuyor.
Now, our hands and feet are speaking also.
huh?
He says, now, our hands and feet are speaking also.
That's the thing. But they're very few, and they are the Sufis.
Evet, fakat çok az kişinin oluyor. Bunlar da sufilerdir.
İşte konuşuyor da dinleyen yok.
They are speaking, but very few are listening.
Also, you should know what do they mean.
Evet.
What are they saying?
onların neler söylediğini bilmeniz gerekir.
And that is what is explained in Sahaja.
Bu Sahaja Yoga'da bunların neler konuştuğunu biliyorsunuz, öğreniyorsunuz.
You can verify.
Ve
Şimdi
tasdik ediyorsunuz.
tabii Hazreti Mevlana'nın bir sözü var.
He is Mevlevi by the way.
Huh?
He is
Mevlevi.
from the path of Mevlevi,
Mevlana.
Mevlana.
Celaleddin Rumi.
Virlin Derviş.
O diyor ki, şimdi sohbet ediyor. O diyor ki,
But
Allah,
he also
yara-
didn't say how you become.
Nasıl oldunuz diyor, nasıl Mevlevi oldunuz diyor.
ben mi?
How, what to do.
Uzun bir macera.
You see, whatever was, he was great. And he's written about his own understanding
Anlatıyor
and
işte.
feelings.
He should tell you.
Huh?
He should tell you about his feelings, how he became Mevlevi.
He didn't say that.
No, he said that Mevlana, he didn't explain openly how to become.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
He didn't.
I have read it. What he's done, he said, is what he has taught, that after becoming a realized soul, what you think, what you talk, and it's like you can say the Chinese system of Tao, same thing, same thing. Tao also is a system in which they describe what happens to a person who is a Tao, the one who is a realized soul. What happens to him, how he is above everything, how he works out, how he has no fear. But that is what you are saying, how it is. But how to achieve it, they never told.
Ne olduklarını anlatmışlardır. Tao'da, Mevlana'da ne olduklarını çok iyi anlatır. Ama nasıl olduklarını açıklamamışlardır.
Açıklıyor. Mesnevi'de var.
Yani nasıl olduğunu, yani insanın
How
içindeki
human beings can achieve it.
insanların
And that too collectively.
ve bunun nasıl toplulukların buraya nasıl ulaşacaklarını açıklamışlar.
Toplulukların ulaşması şeydir, biraz zor. Çünkü evvela şey olması lazım, arzu duyması lazım o topluluktaki. Bütün toplumun arzusu dünya nimetlerinedir, dünya lezzetlerinedir.
The people, common people, have no desire to achieve a spiritual thing.
No, not now. Now it's a different thing. Because the world is so much full of struggle and strife and all. This has started.
Bu dönem şimdi geliyor ve geldi. Dünyada o kadar çok savaş var ki, bu karışıklık var ki, bu karışıklıkların içinde bu dönemin geldiğini biliyoruz.
All over the world. There are thousands.
O zaman da
of
öyleydi. Mevlana'nın zamanında da savaş vardı. Moğollar bütün Türk illerini istila ederek geliyorlardı. Mevlana da kaçtığı için geldi Konya'ya.
During the time of Mevlana, it was also very much struggle. The Mongols were invading the land, and then he escaped and come to Anatolia.
But this is a special time.
Fakat bu çok
It's
özel.
already predicted in our
Yeah.
scriptures also.
Evet. Bu eski
Indian
Hint
scriptures.
şeylerinde de
That this is the time where people will get their self-realization collectively.
ve insanların kolektif olarak kendilerini bilme zamanının geldiğini işaret eden bu çok özel bir zaman olarak bizim
In your Italy only,
İnşallah.
in your country only, there are so many who have got it.
Evet. Türkiye'de çok fazla aydınlanma alanı var. He says inşallah.
Ama Türkiye'nin
He says inşallah.
Ha, Türkiye-
You've got Wilson.
Türkiye'nin öbür İslam ülkelerinden farklı durumu var. Yani bizde İslam'ı ayakta tutan tasavvuf kültürüdür.
He believes that the fundamentals of Islam in Turkey is the Sufism.
Yani bir Suudi Arabistan'dan, hatta Mısır'dan, Libya'dan, Afrika
But
ülkelerinden
one Sufi
çok
cannot
farklıdır.
make other Sufi, is the point.
Fakat burada diyor, bir Sufi başkalarını Sufi yapamaz diyor. Bu işin.
But in Sahajayoga we can make thousands.
Fakat biz bir kişiyle binlerce Sahaja Yoga yapabiliriz.
Ama şimdi o dergahlar kapandığı için her şeyi konuşmak mümkün. Yapıyorlardı yapmadan onu. Hepsinde silsile var, şecere var. Yani yukarıya doğru etkileşim olarak gidiyor. Mesela bir kişi 10 tane halife bırakıyor. Onun halifeleri bakıyor. Binlerce dergah var. Yalnız İstanbul 500 bin nüfusken ki bunun yarısı Müslüman nüfusudur o zaman. Söyleyin.
So in all the times, as Istanbul was only 500,000 people, from only the half of 500,000 people were Muslims at that time.
520 tane tekke ve dergah var.
There were 520 Sufi centers.
Dergah.
I know,
Yeah.
that's why it's so important for me.
Evet, onun için de benim için
But-
çok önemli.
Evet.
But to give it collectively and to give the pure knowledge is very important.
Evet, bunu diyor kolektif olarak kitlelere bu bilgiyi vermek şu anda çok önemli diyor. Kendisi onun üzerine
Yani
bir şeyler
kitlelere
söylemek
vermek
istiyor.
için şu, kitlelere kültürü verirsiniz ama sofi yapamazsınız. Sofi için ayrıca eğitim, meslek lazım. Yani şimdi siz çok hijyen bilgisi verirsiniz. Yani sağlık kültürü verirsiniz kitlelere. Ama bir kulak mütehassısı yetiştiremezsiniz kitlelerin içinden. Bu özel bir eğitim, tıp gibidir.
Emin Hocam,
Onu
evet.
anlat.
Şimdi Mataji de onu anlatmaya çalışıyor.
Hı.
İnsanlara bu bilgiyi nasıl aktarırsınız onu anlatıyor.
Yüzeysel bir kültür verirsiniz ama çok satıyordur.
Ama bir dinlersek
Evet,
anlatacaklar.
yani biraz günahtan sakınmayı, biraz kendine dikkat etmeyi falan verirsin. Yahut mikroptan sakınmayı, işte temizlik kültürü falan gibi.
Müsaade ederseniz onu anlatacak hocam.
Evet.
Then it's a spontaneous awakening, without effort. It's not coming from the brain, it's coming from inside, and it is happening in no time, like this.
Şimdi şöyle bir küçük fark var orada yakalanması gereken. Sahaja Yoga bilgi ve söyledikleri olarak İslam'dan farklı hiçbir şey söylemiyor. Bir tek
Yok ben
uygulama,
farkını demiyorum. Şimdi büyük kalabalıkları
işte onu anlatmak
sofi
isteyeceğim.
yapmak,
İşte
yani
onu-
böyle binlerce, yüz binlerce Mevlana yetiştirmek yok böyle bir şey.
Evet.
Yani peygamber bile kendisine inananları peygamber yapamıyor ama belli bir yere kadar getiriyor işte.
Evet.
Aliler yetişiyor, Ebu Bekirler yetişiyor ama onların sonra gidiyor. Şimdi sonra vardır. Kaynaktan uzaklaştıkça etki alanından kurtulma vardır. Hazreti İbrahim peygamberdi, İsmail de onun oğluydu. Her ikisi de Allah'a kendisini adamış insanlardı. Ama diyor ki Kur'an-ı Kerim'de bir zaman geldi ki onun çocukları namazı da terk ettiler, ibadeti de terk ettiler ve günaha daldılar, kötü yola düştüler diyor.
Şimdi onların hepsini
Evet.
biliyor Mataji de bir
Evet.
sistem anlatacak. Nasıl olacağını
Evet.
anlatacak size. Müsaade ederseniz.
Estağfurullah, hayır. Yani kalabalıkların işi değil. Bu çok arzulu, çok istekli ve bu işe inanmış olması, bağlanmış olması, kendini bu işe vermiş olanların eğitimidir. Ama şimdiki iletişim araçlarıyla kültürünü verebiliriz. Mevlana'nın elinde eğer televizyon olsaydı böyle 15-20 kişiyle değil de belki binlerce insana
Like
ulaşabilir.
in Sahajayoga, we don't need to do big penances, tapasya, dancing, this and that. It is just a spontaneous happening. In her presence, the Kundalini awakens, goes up, and we get this enlightenment. And then the full knowledge of Muhammad, Jesus, comes to us spontaneously.
Complete, absolute.
Evet.
Şimdi sizin
Without
söylediğiniz
effort,
e,
without
entelektüel kısmı işin, yani entelektüeli televizyonda falan anlatılabilecek bilgiler, kültürler de tamamen akli iş. Şimdi Mataji'nin varlığı ve getirdiği bu insanlara bu iç uyanış dediğimiz, ki adı da bunun Kundalini diye isimlendirilen iç enerjinin, şimdi Mataji'nin varlığı ve öğretileri sayesinde spontane bir şekilde anında uyandırılması ve bu enerjinin anında uyandırılmasıyla o bilgiye olan o bilgiyi otomatikman bir kere zaten o arzu, saf arzu yoksa bir kişide zaten bu olmuyor. Orada haklısınız ama o arzu içinde olan herkes Mataji'nin Sahaja Yoga yollarıyla spontane bir uyanış yaşayabiliyor. Bu kundalini dediğimiz enerjisinin uyanmasıyla ortaya çıkan bir durum. Ve bu aydınlanma diyelim, enerjisel aydınlanmayı yaşadığı zaman bir kişi ondan sonraki bilgileri absorbe etmesi çok daha kolay olabiliyor.
Tamam,
Ve
doğru.
Shri Mataji bu dönemde de şunu ısrarla söylüyor yıllardır dünyada. Bu bütün öğretilerde, Sufizm'de de böyle, değişik Hindu öğretilerinde de böyle, daha değişik derin spiritüel bilgilerde de böyle. Yani bir elit tabaka var ve bu elit tabaka ancak buna varabilir. Kitleler varamazın tersini
Demin
iddia
kendisi bir
ediyor.
şey söyledi. Peygamber Efendimiz ruhani miracı anlattı. Fakat onu dinleyenler daha kendi hayatındayken beyaz at üstüne bindi, gökyüzüne çıktı, uçtu gitti. Öyle anladılar. Yani herkesin
Yeah,
doğru
see,
anlaması
In
diye.
thousands, all over the world, they just put their hands like this, and they get awakened. They see, you see their eyes transparent.
Ben
They
onun
become transformed.
söylediklerine itiraz
In no
etmiyorum.
time.
Anlıyorum ama bu bir tartışma
Meselenin
zaten.
çok zor olduğunu anlatmaya
What
çalışıyorum.
Shri Mataji he is trying to tell us is that it's not to come against what we are saying. It's just that from his knowledge, from his knowledge, what he thinks that it is very difficult because he doesn't know.
Yeah, it used to be, not now.
Diyor, bir zamanlar çok zordu.
Ben fakültede hocayım. 4 sene çocuğa ders veriyorum. Bunun içerisinde mesela diyelim ki 80 kişilik bir sınıf. 8 tanesi 4. sene sonunda benim talebem gibi beni anlıyor. 70 tanesi yine anlamıyor.
He says when he's educating the children in school, he's teaching them Quran. And he starts with 80 of them, and after 4 years, he says only 8 of them come out with full understanding of what I'm telling
No,
them.
you go the other way around. Sahajayoga is the other way around.
Exactly.
First we make them the Sufis and then,
Then
we
we
give them
teach
the Quran.
Şimdi Sahaja Yoga'daki tek teknik farkı diyelim, anlayış farkı olmasa bile, biz öncelikle Shri Mataji'nin varlığı ve öğretileriyle bu aydınlanmayı önce yaşanıyor, bilgi arkadan geliyor. Bilgiyle aydınlanma değil, önce enerjisiyle, kundalinisiyle aydınlanma sağlanıp, arkasından o aydınlanmaya kavuşanların bilgilendirilmesi. Tam
Ben
ters
anlıyorum,
çalışıyor.
ben onun dediğini anlıyorum. Şimdi mesela aklıma geliyor, soruyorum şimdi. Mesela kendileri Hindu. Hindistan'da da bu kadar.
Değil.
Efendim?
Hindu değil.
Nerede?
Hindu değil. Yani esasında doğuşu Hristiyan.
Of course.
Ama
Only,
bu öğretilerin içinde artık
Evet,
çok
yani
derin
Hindistanlı değil midir?
Hindistan.
Tamam,
only
Hindistan.
after the awakening,
Heh,
the scriptures can be understood.
That's what I think.
Quran can be
That's
understood.
what I
Hindistanlı değil midir?
Evet.
Şimdi kendi dilini bildiği, içinde yaşadığı, kültürünü tanıdığı toplumda ne kadar etkili olabiliyor?
Şu anda çok hızlı oluyor. Bırakın Hindistan'ı,
Milyonlarca
dünyada
insan,
oluyor.
dünyada
Yani
95
gittiğiniz zaman şaşırabileceğiniz boyutta milyonlar, yüz binlerle karşılaşıyorsunuz.
Hayır, şimdi sempatizanları demiyorum. Sevenler çok. Ben de sempati duyuyorum mesela. Okudum. Ha, güzel bir şey. Beğendim,
When she
hoşlandım,
gave a
kalktım,
conference, many professors, university professors, teachers of Quran, they came to Shri Mataji, they say, the way you explain Shri Mataji the Quran, it was never understood before, it was never heard.
Fundamentalists, so many
And they were
fundamentalists.
fundamentalists.
In fact, I remember
It's
one
the
in Delhi.
experience. First you give them the experience of the all-pervading power of root. Once they get the experience, then they go deep.
Yani, öncelikle bunu yaşamasının bir tecrübi olarak yaşamasını sağlıyorsunuz. Ruhu hissetmesini sağlıyorsunuz. Ondan sonra derinleşmesini sağlıyorsunuz. Yani dediğiniz çok doğru. Fakat Sahaja Yoga bunun tersi. İnsanlara öncelikle o aydınlanmayı sağlıyorsunuz. Ondan sonra derinleşmelerini sağlıyorsunuz.
Yani önce kapıyı açıyorsun.
Evet.
Sonra lambayı yakıp içeriye düzene koyuyorsun.
Evet.
O,
Aynen öyle. Aynen.
Odayı tefreş ediyorsun.
Now, he says,
Ama-
first open the door,
And then get
put
it.
the light,
Correct.
And then you see.
Correct. That's
Correct.
what.
Ama işte her kapı kolay açılıyor.
Burada kolay.
Paslanmış
Not
oluyor.
every, not
Kilit,
every door gets open
kilit
easily.
paslanmış oluyor.
Some of them are very rusty.
But she Mataji has the key.
Orada da
Anahtarı var.
Evet.
She has the
There
master
are-
key.
She has the master key.
Çok yüksek bir görev bir defa üstlenmiş. Bu her baba yiğidin yapacağı iş değil. İnşallah faydalı olur, başarılı olur. Ben ona dua ediyorum.
He understands your mission is very high and ultimate, and he hopes all the best to you and
Yes.
in your
We have
mission.
to get many Sufis.
Evet. Çok sufiler.
If you want to change the world, you can't manage with one or two.
Çok az kişiyle bunu yapamayız. Dünyayı değiştirmek istiyoruz. Dünyayı çok sufilerle değiştirebiliriz.
Even to understand Quran or Bible or anything, you have to have that eyes.
Kur'an'ı da, İncil'i de ne olursa olsun bunları anlamak için o gözle bakabilmek lazım. O ruh gözüyle bakabilmek lazım. O ruh gözüne bakmayı sağlayacağız.
In Sahajayoga,
Her
also,
şeye ruh gözüyle bakmak lazım aslında.
also we tell,
Bu çiçeğe de, o ağaca da, her şeye ruh gözüyle bakmak.
what are all the centers are there? What are the problems of the centers? And we have seen that people are cured physically, mentally, and also they become what they call thoughtlessly aware.
Biz içimizdeki enerji ve sinir merkezlerimizin düzelmesiyle, bu aydınlanmayla sağlığa kavuştuğumuzu gördük. Sadece fiziksel sağlığa değil, ruh sağlığına da kavuştuğumuzu gördük. Çok insan da oldu.
So all the religions have talked about it.
Bütün dinler bunu söylemiştir.
It's not only Quran,
Sadece
it's not
Kur'an
only
değil.
Bible, it's not only Gita. All the religions have said the same thing.
Problemleri çözeceksin. Ruhi problem.
Onu anlatacak efendim.
İşte ablasının bildiği.
Evet.
What she said.
She is asking, how is that possible?
It's possible because God has made within us all the arrangements. He is a great organizer.
Çünkü Allah içimize bunun enerjisini koymuştur. O çok büyük
And
bir
we
organizer.
have within us that power, that the mother power, which rises and pierces through your fontanel bone and makes you one connection with the all-pervading power, the root.
İçimizde o gücü koymuştur ve uyandığı zaman içimizde yükselir ve başımızın üstünden bizi saran ruhla evrensel güçle birleşir.
Yani, excuse me, here in Sufism also there is a terminology for that moment. It is called enel hak.
Yes. Religion.
Enel hak, saying I am God.
Ah.
Saying I am God.
I'm religion.
I am religion, I am God.
Correct.
So,
Yok,
Shri
I
Mataji,
am God demek değil.
yani ben Allah'ın bir bütünlüğün
Hayır.
bir parçasıyım. Ben de Allah'ım.
Ben hakikatım.
No, no, you
Hakikat,
become.
evet.
Actually, you become.
Yeah, the truth. I am
You
the truth.
become. You don't have to have certificate. You just become. First your mind starts speaking. You know what are these centers are within. Every knowledge, perfect knowledge within is available.
Mother, today in Turkey is Turkey's National Sovereignty and Children's Day,
I know.
a national holiday. Do you have a message for Turkey on this
Oh
day?
my God, I was so very happy about it. See, what they don't understand, that what we are doing will have an effect on our children. Are we creating hell for them?
Should hope not, Mother.
That's it. We must think from the children's point of view. What are we giving them? And today is a very great day because I myself, I feel that we are really exploiting our children. We don't think about them, and the way we are mad after our own, they are maniacs, I must say, the way they are going on. But what are you going to give to your children? You have to give them peace. You have to give them joy. Are you doing that? It's only few these elderly people, they have lost their heads, I think, who are carrying everything. Just think of your children. They should have a very peaceful, beautiful, joyous country. Isn't it? That should be the aim.
It's simply the aim, Mother. Yes, it should.
These old Johnnies are not going to live forever.
No. This is very true, Mother. Mother, you have been awarded several prizes for peace, including, if I'm not wrong, the UN Peace Medal.
Peace?
The Peace Medal.
I don't know how many I've had in my time. See, I don't care for all awards and all that. And recently they gave one in India, it's called as the Jewel of Humanity. All kinds of, I told them I don't want it, I'll not go to Bombay, so they came to Pune to give it. But you see, these awards and all that are, for me, of no value. Because so many get it, so many are getting it. I don't want any certificate from anyone as such. I don't need it. But they want to give, and some don't want to give also. There are some who don't want to give because, say, I am not a Catholic. So some people won't give me. Because I am not a Christian, they won't give me. It's like that, stupid. You see, I'm none of these, and they do not judge me on merits. If they judge me on merits, these awards have some meaning, but they don't.
I see, Mother. What activities does Sahaja Yoga do worldwide to promote peace and protection of children, for example?
First and foremost thing that we are trying to transform human beings to a higher level of awareness. By that, you see, so many things drop. For example, your addiction to things like drugs and all that drops off. Then so many diseases are cured, and a person becomes a very beautiful, independent personality and collectively conscious, you see. So such a group of people we can call, such a society, which is of enlightened people, can change the whole world tomorrow.
Mother, how does a person obtain this enlightenment, this self-realization, as I've heard it called?
You see, there are two things about it. That there are now very many seekers of truth. All over the world I've seen, whether they are black, white, yellow, anything. They are all seekers of truth. And what happens, that they have a power within them. Everyone has. In the triangular bone called as Kundalini, you can call it by any name. And which rises and gives you this connection with the divine. It's very, very simple thing that works out. But because the time is there, this is the time. Also because they are seekers. Because they are so genuine, that's why they get it.
When this Kundalini energy rises, what are its effects on people, and how does a person know that this energy is active?
I mean, you get a complete transformation. You see. Depends on how much you perfect it. But firstly, as we say, there are 6 enemies human beings have. And these 6 enemies are like anger and what you can call the perversion in sex habits. Then it is also greed for corruption. Then also you have got attachments. You see, they will become dishonest because their son has to be helped or this and all these kind of identifications are there.
I see.
And also pride. Like we are something great and all this. It's ego problem.
Like the 7 deadly sins.
Huh?
Like the English say the 7 deadly sins of pride, avarice, sloth, lust.
English have, but now they're coming round.
English have.
Everywhere has to come round. Every action has a reaction, and they're realizing it. Now imagine they left our country without doing anything about it. How did they manage? So they also care for the world reputation. And things are changing. I agree with them. They are very much. It's a small country, and they thought they have achieved a lot and all that. But it's now dwindling.
Mother, is Sahaja Yoga like Sufism, the Islamic spiritualism?
It's not Islam. That's the difference between the two. Anybody can call himself a Sufi, like this gentleman who came. He called himself a Sufi, but he was just argumentative, and he said the world is so bad, this, that. But he didn't know what to say about himself, you see. So it's not an ism, it is a Ism means a kind of a, we can say, a kind of theory, or could be a kind of a group who believes in something. It's not like that. Sahaja Yoga makes you Sufi. Sufi means cleanse. Nirmal. It means he makes you, cleanses you. It cleanses you and you get rid of all these horrible things and you become a transformed personality.
In Sufism, there is a concept of an evil nature in man called nefis, and by disciplining this nefis, the Sufi attains a link with a collective consciousness.
That's a wrong idea. Most of the Sufis didn't know how they became Sufis. They were born like that. And the others who talk about it is also like Tao. You must have heard about Chinese thing, Tao. When they describe a sage, the sage is like this, sage is like that. But how? How does he become like that? So that part is missing even in the Sufi theories. How you become a Sufi? Just going round and round, you don't become. By following a certain code of life, you don't become. What? Kundalini. That has to die.
So where other forms of mysticism, what they strive to achieve is where Sahaja Yoga starts.
Yeah.
Could you say that?
They try to achieve by putting pressures on themselves into all kinds of control and all that. That's not the way. You have to be a free person. With Kundalini, you become a free person. Nobody has to tell you, don't do that. Just become. Becoming is the point.
Becoming is the point. Mother, how does Sahaja Yoga or a Sahaja Yogi benefit the society in which he lives?
He creates a new society of his own. And then by that, others are also are helped, because they see a society where there's no greed, there's no fighting, there's no quarreling, all living together happily and enjoying each other and understanding. Another thing happens that they start seeing what's wrong with your own country, what's wrong with your own old societies, what's wrong with all the religions that are there. He just becomes a kind of a person who sees things. So, such a society is formed. And these people influence others. That's how the Sahaja Yoga is spreading so much now. Because I don't go everywhere now. They say there's in 86 countries. I haven't visited even half of them. But what happens that one person who gets it goes and gives to another. And because it is the truth, you see, it works.
It's amazing. Turkey is located in the middle of several volatile regions, for example, the Balkans, the Caucasus, the Middle East, with its present conflict between Israel and the Palestinians. Can Turkey and or Turkish yogis play a role in bringing peace to these regions?
Of course, why not? Of course. Turkey has one very great blessing. It had so many Sufis. And if you read them, it's a description of Sahajogis. They were all Sahajogis. They didn't call them Sahajogis, but they were. Because they are described to be like this, described to be like that. And when they tell about their own experiences and all that in poetry, you are amazed to see they are talking like Sahajogis. That's the reason, because of that blessing, Turkey has become very important for me also. That spirituality will definitely take a shape here. And maybe I always feel that Islam would be really shown in Turkey very well, and maybe that it will help people to correct their ideas about Islam.
Interesting. Mother, speaking of Islam, the actions by the Afghan government by destroying the statues of Buddha, how did this, what was India's reaction and what is Sahaja's reaction?
You see, for us, they have been a curse all throughout. Because for India, you see, India respects everything, all the religions. That's the only country which respects all the religions in a same manner. So to them it was a shock, because it's a very historical thing that when Alexander came to Afghanistan, these artists saw the beautiful surroundings they had and beautiful mountains they had. And they said, we can teach you how to hewn the
Rock.
rocks. They taught them there. So Indians were so grateful to them for that. And even they went to this limit to say that it's only they have taught us, otherwise we didn't know how to hewn the rocks. They have done so much work, like we have got, Ajanta. But then they found one lady called Yakshini, who was carved out. That flouted that whole idea. So the Indians knew how to hewn the rock, but they didn't want, because it would be in the rock all the time, but why not do something that can go to houses and houses. So then that idea was gone, that it's only the Greeks taught us. Doesn't matter, whosoever teaches you. I mean, there are very, very well-known structures, and we all respect it very much, no doubt. Not because Buddhist or anything, but as a piece of art also. But these people have no sense left in their heads. They believe only in destruction. Now, by destroying that, do you think Islam will spread? What will they achieve out of it? Otherwise, that was the place people used to visit, they used to have tourists, all this is finished. That's the only glorifying thing they have. What else they have? They don't have Taj Mahal, they don't have any one of our temples, nothing. They had only those statues. That also is lost, they don't know what was their, call it, their inheritance,
Mm.
the greatest. Many people went to see that. I also, in my relation, many people went to see those things as we go to see Ajant. So they have lost that. Now what are they going to see? All the dead bodies?
Just rubble, Mother.
I don't know.
Let's see what I can see.
Some sort of an idea they have about Islam.
Mother, it's been a very, very great pleasure asking these questions and listening to your enlightened views. I sincerely hope that I get the pleasure and the blessing to interview again in the future someday.
If I?
I'll say that again. I sincerely hope that I'm given the blessing to interview you again in the future someday.
Of course, anytime.
It's such an honor, Mother.
You are a very good interviewer, I must say.
Thank
Because
you.
in England I have had horrible ones. So when you said I'm English, I was a little frightened,
It must be the effect of Turkey.
I think it's Scottish are better people, definitely. One interviewer came long time back, and he started asking funny questions. First of all, he said, "Why are you here in this country?" I said, "I've come because my husband has got an appointment. I've come with him." All right. But I said, "I can also ask, why did you go to India?" It was quite. Then he asked me another question, is that, what about your population? Why don't you go and do something about your population? Why is it there's so much population in it? See, I'm sorry, but if I tell you something, I hope you won't feel hurt. He says, just tell me why. So the reason is, I read the other day in the newspaper that in London city itself, every week 2 children are killed by their parents. He said, really? Yes, I have got that. So, what child would like to be born in this country where they can be killed by the parents? Shocked at it. So the children are also going to India and taking birth because there are people who love their children. So they want to be born in India. What can we do about it? Then second question he asked me was very funny about that. Why are you so poor in your country? I said, that too is, don't you think you are responsible? I said, how? He said, 300 years without taking any visa or anything, you went there, and for 3 years we lived there, looted us, then what will happen? That's the net result of the whole thing. We were one of the richest country once upon a time, but you people looted us. Now what to do?
Very true, Mother.
Then he kept quiet.
Mother, while I'm a thought just came to my mind.
Mm.
I was reading some of the Turkish newspapers. After all, it's part of my job. An interview by the Sabah newspaper. In fact, the headline said it was greed that destroyed you, greed that took you down. I believe that was what you told reporters about Turkey's economic crisis.
Yeah, it is true.
It is true.
See, the question is, they are such artists, such beautiful artists they are, and they make nice things out of nothing. So I don't know why they wanted to get after money and ruin their own country. You see, art that they have is sufficient to give them all the blessings of Lakshmi. But they are not satisfied. They want to make the modern style of money. In that, then you get lost. You tell lies, you do cheat, you do everything. But as far as art is concerned, you are producing something great. And that's the real wealth of this country. But one should be satisfied with it. The thing is, if you want to have, say, Rockefeller things, then you can't. You cannot enjoy that. What we are having now in America is a recession, a big one. And everybody is passing through that recession. Isn't it? But art cannot have recession. So they should have taken to their own knowledge of art, to all love of art, and they would have been perfect all right. But they don't understand their own nature. And running up, everybody is trying to become American, I know, even in India.
Mm. Mother, have you travelled anywhere else in Turkey apart from Istanbul?
Not so. I would love to. This time I've kept 4 days for that. I want to go to different places, see. I haven't. You see, I'm so busy when I'm here, and then I just disappear. But this time I've been little selfish.
Mother, would you like to see Konya?
Hmm?
Would you like to see Konya, the home of
I would
Mevlana?
love to see anything. I don't know what programs they have. Because they said, Mother, at least give us 4 days for that. So I don't know what is their program, whatever it is. I would love to do that.
Okay, Mother. I think that's the end of my questions, Mother.
Yeah.
Thank you
It's a
very
wonderful country. You can do a lot here. I mean, it's such a nice thing. Even this fellow is Islam. He too became all right. Now these people with the Krishna consciousness, they spread so much.
Mhm.
And I was in LA, I don't know, maybe that is the reason they got so badly exposed. That the boys, small children who were there, children of the so-called, what to call them?
Krishna
Consciousness people, yeah. So they have grown up now, they are adults. And they have put a case against the organizers that they always used to abuse us as children. And they had to pay for only one center, I don't know, such a lot of, I mean, all this nonsense they started, Krishna consciousness, this, in that they didn't get any consciousness of the spirit. How could they do that, such a dirty stuff? And now they are mostly closing down in America. Of course, the Rajneesh has gone, that is gone, this is finished. But this Krishna consciousness was still going on. I mean, what they are doing is to sell books.
Mhm. And make money out of it.
But just making money, make money, like that. And the whole thing is exposed now.
Also here, Shri Mataji, now that this desire of people becoming spiritually enlightened, the desire is misused a lot by all these wrong knowledge people. They
There
come
are
and
people-
give seminars, all kinds of people. Even Deepak Chopra was here.
Even who?
Deepak Chopra.
Even he came here to give a seminar, and you have to pay to go to the
He's
seminar.
just
And all
minting
the-
money. He's just minting money.
And a lot of these, some people coming, I don't know, some people are asking me, they make these kind of workshops in hotels and this and that. It's
Deepak
really-
Chopra is the worst.
I know.
He's the worst. He's made
But
so much
many
money.
others came also. with
He
all
was
this
found
knowledge.
in a hotel with a prostitute in America. All these things are there, but see, all that happened, everything happened, but people get mesmerized. I think they never see this. They're stupid. The last judgment. At this time, stupid will go to stupid. What can you? Very bad vibrations here. But best part is he uses my lectures.
Yes. He uses all of your lectures. And I was saying, somebody must be giving Shri Mataji's documents to him.
Doesn't matter, still he is telling the right thing.
Mataji, we have a rendezvous with the bioenergy specialist man.
Bioenergy specialist man.
Is he here? Or not? But Sadhana has gone out or what?
No, she's sleeping, resting. She's resting.
She's a sleeping person, all right? Then call him. Right, we should just do. What is the bioenergy business?
They are creating energy out of biological things like cow dung, or like with the wind, the power of the water.
Basically, Shri Mataji, they are the kind of people who have the knowledge to vibrate their energies to heal people. So bioenergists are supposed to be healers, doing what Kundalini is doing with the help, giving vibrations to the areas where the body is blocked. So some of them by touching, some of them by not touching, but by just giving vibrations.
But what he told me is different.
This is what bioenergies do. And then they all have different knowledge. But most of them are basically Russian-based now, the ones we have
Russian.
around here. They are teaching this in Russia also. And they act as healers on giving energy to people's blockages.
Then you finish. Unless and until you have the energy within yourself, you should try all this stress.
Tamam. Tekrarlar rica edeceğiz aydınlatması için. Bir anlatın.
He is himself a psychologist doctor, and he is also in bioenergy and magnetism. And he has an institution, a foundation here in Turkey to teach people and to help people with the bioenergies. And then 3 years ago, through Majid, he has come and touched your feet and your hands, and he felt enlightened. So this time he wanted to visit you again to sort of get his fuel, to get his enlightenment process going on.
Yeah, what the best is to do is to give realization to people, firstly. If you give realization to people, they'll get cured. Because that has a power by which you get connected to the all-pervading power. Once you are with that all-pervading power, that looks after mostly.
Alfa aşamasından bahsediyorlar galiba.
Diyor ki insanların iyileşmesi için önemli olan kendi öz enerjisinin, kundalini'nin
Çok doğru.
çakraları aşarak
Evet.
ana istasyonda birleşmesidir. Bu olduğu zaman zaten bütün o iyileşme prosesi başlayacak.
Bizim zaten amacımız insanlara bu hizmeti vermek, onları aydınlatmaktır.
İşte bu hizmette de diyor tek yol insanların kundalinisini uyandıracak, onlara bu aydınlanmayı sağlayacak şeyi yapmaktır, yeterlidir
Biz de
diyor.
onu
Ki
yapıyoruz.
Sahaja Yoga'da esasında bunu yapıyor.
Tabii eğitimini almışım ben zaten,
Siz
uyguluyorum.
Azerisiniz
Ben
herhalde.
Tebrizliyim, Azeriyim ben.
He is trying to do the same kind of things with their knowledge of using their energies to help others.
No, but one should be clear-cut about everything, you know.
But,
Sometimes it can be dangerous. If you don't know the whole knowledge and you do something, you might spoil your health and maybe that spoil the health of others.
fakat bu işleri yaparken diyor bu bilginin tümüne vakıf değilseniz
Tabii.
kendinizin de bir takım
Onu ben
hastalıkları
biliyorum.
yakalama şansınız
Ben
yüksektir.
18 senedir bu işin içindeyim. Ben 25 senedir psikoloğum, 18 senedir biyoenerji. Ben eğitimi Hindistan'da görmüşüm.
He has been doing bioenergy for 18 years and he has had his education in India, he says.
Punjab.
In
Where?
Punjab.
Punjab.
In Punjab.
Punjab.
Punjab. Punjab.
What education here did
Ne
you?
öğrendiniz orada?
Orada ben enerji alanlarımı gördüler. Teorik ve pratik olarak orada ben enerjimi yükseltme, konsantrasyon gücümü yükseltme, şakralarımın açık olması.
But you have the complete comprehensive knowledge, absolute knowledge about Sahaja. And then you should work it out because it can create problems.
Yalnız bu konuda Sahaja Yoga'ya çok daha derin girip bütün detaylarıyla bunu öğrenmeden bu uygulamalara girmek bir takım problemleri yaratabilir,
Çok doğru.
insanı geri tepebilir. Onun için bu konuda full bilgi gerekir
Çok
diyor.
doğru, çok doğru. Biz
He
onu-
agrees, mother.
Because I've seen people who have done work, those they were not such good Sahajogis, have harmed.
Çok iyi Sahaja Yogi olmayan, kendisinin gerek temizliği gerek korunması konusunda fazla bilgili olmayan bazı Sahaja Yogiler gördüm ki bu tür işlemlerde, başkalarını tedavi işlemlerde kendileri
Zarar
hastalandılar
görüyorlar.
ve
Çok
zarar
doğru.
Also,
gördüler.
they must know the protection.
Dolayısıyla
How to protect
kendinizi
from
nasıl
others.
korumanız konusunda bilgi sahibi olmanız
All
lazım.
these things are a complete science in Sahaja.
Hangisi? Sol
Bunu
taraf
ben
kaynak.
hissedebiliyorum. Ben aura da görebiliyorum.
He says he can see auras.
That he should not.
Ki bunu yapmamalı diyor. And then he can feel inside if somebody is left or right, he says.
On the finger.
Sadece elleriyle
On
bunu
the hands.
öğrenmelisiniz.
Ellerimle.
Ellerinizle. Ellerinizde ve parmaklarınızda. Her çakranın ve her bölgenin vücuttaki burada haritaları var. Bu elleri kullanarak o gelen vibrasyonda problemin ne
Arıyoruz.
olduğunu
All
yakalamanız
right.
lazım.
Let's see. Let him see my auras. Let's see what it is.
Benim oramı görebilir mi şimdi diyor.
Ben 3 sene evvel görmüştüm. Yeşil bir aura görmüştüm. Ve çok geniş bir aura. Öylesine ki yani bizi o Macit Bey götürdü bir o şey yaptı. Ama şu anda bir şeyim vardı. Yine dikkat etsem yine o yeşil ve yeşilin üstünde bir mor da görüyorum yine. Şu anda hissediyorum.
3 years ago, when he first met you, he saw a huge green color around you. Green. And now he says, this time I did not put my attention, but when he did a minute ago, he says he still sees that green with a little bit of purple on top.
Green with the
Purple.
Yani şey o çok geniş bir o zaman da şu anda da yani hatta o zaman da aynı kalp atışlarını hissediyordum. Şu anda da onu
Kalbiniz açık.
evet yani onu tamamen hissediyorum.
He felt it the first time also. He saw your aura, first of all, very wide. He says.
what's the meaning of green?
Peki aurada yeşil görmenin şeyi nedir?
Kendine hakimiyet, sevgiyle herkese bakmak, efendime söyleyeyim, ruhsal alemi çok geniş olan bir insan morla karşıladığı zaman.
Especially when it is mixed with purple, very deep in the spiritual world, very connected, very powerful in controlling the energies around,
Green.
and green, and also big like mother's love towards people. That is green, he says.
Really. But
And for the first two times, first time he saw, and this time also, he's also feeling his heartbeat is going up.
Ya, bir de bunu söyleyeyim ki ben 3 sene evvel ki beni aydınlattı ve yine de isteyeceğim aydınlatmasını. Ondan sonra benim ön sezlerim de üçüncü şakram çok arttı yani onu hissediyorum.
After meeting you 3 years ago and got his enlightenment, his powers and his feeling observations has grown up immensely. And this time the reason he came here is for that hunger. So he wants to have
what I'm
the
saying, that it takes hardly any time.
Evet o da o soru şöyle.
Also, they say, the lady said that they also see a white light coming out of your head, going upwards.
But when you are in that you don't see. When you are in that,
Yes, you don't see.
when you are outside, then only you see.
Yani Yani içindeyken bunu göremezsiniz. Dışına çıkınca ancak görebilirsiniz diyor.
Neyin içindeki?
O
Enerji.
enerjinin.
Enerji. Tabii. Ben bir de çok yani görmemeye çalışırım. Yani bu şeydi ama
And he says he tries not to see with
Best
everybody.
is not to see the best state. When you are inside,
Aynen.
you don't see.
En tekamül etmiş boyut onu görmeme boyutudur.
Evet,
Çünkü
onu
içinde
görmem.
oluyorsun.
evet.
Gördükçe içinde olamıyorsun. Onun için
Görmemeye-
görmemek
evet,
daha iyi.
Görmeye çalışıyorum yani. Onu ben
See, so judging by the aura will be all right, but not for you. You are not there. You have to be inside.
Birisini aurasına bakarak yargılamak veya tedavi etmek iyi olabilir o karşı taraf için. Ama şahsın kendisi için iyi değil. Çünkü içinde kendi olamamanın
çok doğru. çok
şeyini
doğru.
yaşıyor diyor.
Çok doğru.
Dışında olmanın
evet.
dezavantajını yaşıyor diyor.
Ona telaş ediyor. Yani biz hele sıfırdayız yine. Düşünüyoruz ki sıfırdayız yani.
Well, he says he still thinks he's starting from zero, so he's learning.
So here we have some people. He should come to them and understand Sahaja very well, master it.
Türkiye'deki Sahaja Yoga ile ilgilenen arkadaşlarla daha sıkı irtibatlı olup Sahaja Yoga bilgilerini
Çok doğru.
daha fazla özümsemenizi
Evet, evet,
öneriyor.
biz-
By that he will be safe himself,
Bir numara kendini koruyabileceksin.
one thing. And another thing is, whatever he do will be perfect.
Ve yaptığın her şey mükemmelleşecek. Daha mükemmele doğru gidecek.
No guesswork.
Mükemmel olacak.
Biz bu derneği kurduktan sonra yeni bir sizin derneğinizden haberdar olduk inşallah. Düşüncemiz şu, bu konuya ilgilenen derneklerin arasında bir koordinasyon da yaratacağız. Hatta ben üye de olacağım size. Efendime söyleyeyim şey yapacağız yani.
He wants to be a member of the Sahaja Yoga Foundation here, and he wants to have the combinations between also their foundation, which is called the Bioenergy Foundation.
But first you must have the knowledge, perfect.
Bilim.
Evvela bilimini,
Bilim,
bu
bilim.
işi öğren.
Biz bu şöyle diyeyim ki Türkiye'de bu konuyla ilgili yani biyoenerji olsun falan olsun bunlara bilimsel bakmıyorlar. Birçok insan biz bir kere bunun bilim olduğunu ispatlamaya çalışıyoruz.
He says we are already in Turkey trying to prove people that this bioenergy is scientific. So this why I already very well know that Sahaja Yoga is a science.
There could be complications, you see. So you must know what is this, what is happening, what people are catching, what are their problems, how to get it. Exact.
Bunu tam doğru, %100 doğru bilmek ve perfect bir şekilde yapabilmek için bu bilgiye tam vakıf olursanız bu enerjilerinizle zaten var olan çalışmalarınız. Çünkü sizin türünüz çalışmalar bir takım komplikasyonlara neden olabiliyor. Yapana da karşı tarafa da. Buna mani olmak için Sahaja Yoga metotlarıyla bunu yaptığınız an perfection geliyor o zaman. Mükemmeliyet geliyor.
You have to raise the kundalini, give them realization.
Ve size gelen herkesin kundalinisini yükseltip onlara bu aydınlanmayı sağlamamız.
Everything.
Yapıyoruz. Bunu yapıyorum ben. Sonra da bu enerjilerin tapasında
İşte Shri Mataji bunları yaptığınızı biliyor ama diyor ki yetersiz bilgiyle
Ha.
bunları yaparsanız bazı sıkıntılar
ben
yaşayabilirsiniz.
hatta ne yapıyorum?
Full bilgiye sahip olmanız
Ben
lazım.
hatta ne yapıyorum biliyor musunuz? Bazı hastalarıma sizin yerinizin adresini veriyorum. Orada ücretsiz yoga kursları veriyor. Ona gönderiyorum bazen.
He is even sending some of his clients, some of his patients to Sahaja Yoga Center.
Yeah.
Why don't you do? You should master it yourself.
Peki sen kendin niye Sahaja Yoga'yı master etmiyorsun diyor.
You should become a master very easy.
Bunu ben kimden öğreneceğimi bilmiyorum.
He says he doesn't know who to learn it from.
All of them.
Bütün Sahaja Yogiler.
Tamam gel.
Salim can teach.
Selim diye bir...
Selim. Onunla tanışmıştım. Ben sonra onun telefon kaybettim.
He already knows Selim, but he
Yes.
lost his telephone number,
Yeah.
he says.
Ben gel.
Salim is there,
Semra.
Sajanan is there.
Tamam.
We have a lot of people.
İrtibat kurarsanız arkadaşlarla
Tabii kesin
size
adres
bu
aldık.
konuda...
Hem telefonu hem adresi aldık. Geleceğiz biz size.
So
They are
I
coming.
know.
They are coming, they say, to
Yes.
the Sahaja Yoga Center.
Çok güzel. Biz yani gerçekten de
The first point is that first you know yourself. That's Sahaja.
Sahaja Yoga da birinci öncelik
kendisi.
kendini tanımak.
Biliyoruz evet. Ve kendini korumak.
Yani ondan sonra geliyor. Kendini
Evet.
tanıyarak başlıyorsun. Başkalarına yardım etme noktasında olmak için de. Çünkü bütün kanallarınız açık. Başkalarına yardım edeceğim diye kendinizi korumadan girerseniz o açık kanallardan
Ben şöyle diyeyim size, ben
negativite size girebilir.
Evet çok doğru. Ben onu koruyorum ve bunu da korumasını insanlara diyorum. Ve
Siz
ben,
hangi yöntemle koruyorsunuz mesela?
Ben meditasyonla koruyorum.
He says he is already trying to protect himself from his patients by meditation. But if he learns all the techniques of Sahaja Yoga, I
Ben
think
sadece o da biliyorum. Zaman zaman onu
Procedure
kullanıyorum.
comes only through Sahaja.
Ben zaman zaman mesela o şeylerim kendimi düğümlerim sonra seansa mesela başlıyorum.
evet işte onların tam bütün ince detaylarını
Teksirler de var bende. Ben
öğrenirsiniz.
zaman zaman onu okuyorum ama yine dediğiniz gibi
Well,
sık sık.
he has some knowledge of Sahaja Yoga and he's reading some but not enough. He should perfect it. Diyor ki Sahaja Yoga bilginizi
And one thing he will not see
Yok,
colors or
özellikle
anything
böyle
of
diyor
this
ki
auras. He
mükemmel.
will not see.
ve o zaman görecek ki diyor auraları falan görmeyecek. Görmediği zaman da memnun olsun diyor.
Ha çok iyi. Evet yani bu ben gördüğüm zaman da üzülüyorum mesela bazen avralar çok berbat oluyor. Üzülüyorum yani. O doğru diyor yani.
He doesn't want to see himself either, Shri Mataji.
You have to be perfect. That's not.
Fakat bir geçiş noktası var. Ben onu söylemek istiyorum. Bir yerden bir yere geçiş yaparken enerjilerle uğraştığınız zaman meditasyonlarda ilk anlarda o enerji alanlarını görmeye başlıyorsunuz. Çok doğru söylediniz. Fakat ondan sonra bu kaybolmaya başlıyor. Kaybolduğu zaman acaba sizde kaybolan bir şey de var mı diye bu sefer sorduğunuz zaman aldığınız cevap içsel bütünlükten hayır, olgunlaşma. Fakat neyin olgunlaşmakta olduğunun sorusu.
Shri Mataji onu demin cevapladı.
Evet.
İçinde olmak
Evet,
ve dışında
evet.
olmak.
Şimdi onu algıladım ve ona teşekkür ediyorum.
She just realized because she also knew that some things she saw also. After she gets deeper and deeper, she started not to see. And she didn't know why, and she got the answer from you.
Because if you see from outside, it is there. Supposing you are outside the sea, you can see the sea. But if you are inside the sea, what would you see?
Mesela bir sahilde oturup denize baktığınız zaman denizi görürsünüz. Ama denize dalarsanız denizi göremezsiniz.
Göremezsin. Çok güzel.
Çok güzel.
Evet. Bir de kendisi söyleyin ki 3 seneye kıyas daha gençleşmiş.
There is the compliments. Since 3 years ago, you've become younger, mother. Yes.
I've gone working like this, I don't know.
Gerçekten de çok.
Ben devamlı çalışarak diyorum.
Evet. Evet, biz de hep öyle çalışıyoruz sabahtan akşama kadar ve insanları bilgilendirmekten başka bir şey düşüncemiz yoktur.
Niyetinizin çok temiz olduğunu anladığı için size ısrarla Sahaja Yogilerle irtibat
Kesinlikle.
kurup daha derin bu konuda
Kesinlikle.
bilimsel hatta katkılarda bile bulunabilirsiniz.
Biz fazla zamandan almayacağız. Bize bir tavsiyelerini söylesinler. Bir de elimizden, alnımızda neler yapacaksa ancak ben daha çok aydınlanmak, daha çok
He wants to be enlightened more and more, and he would like to hear your last words to them before they leave, so that they can regulate their lives accordingly.
See, there are stages in Sahaja Yoga. One is called as thoughtless awareness. I made it even shorter than Patanjali. He said first it should be awareness with the thoughts. Then second stage he says there should be thoughtless awareness. Then the third stage he says should be what we call nirvikalpa, that there should be no doubts. But he says first you will have doubts and samadhi with the doubts. But then you have no doubts. So this is the fourth state. When you go beyond that, then you are perfect.